Looking a generation or two further back still, attitudes to birds were different, with birds more often being seen as a resource, something to be exploited for meat, feathers, study skins and eggs, or simply destroyed because they interfered with human activities. My aim in this book is to share my enthusiasm for birds and to explain the varied ways that our relationships with them have changed through time. It's a journey that spans several continents and 12 millennia, including my own journey as a bird researcher from the cave art of our Neolithic ancestors through the ancient Egyptians' bird-filled catacombs of the Nile Valley to ancient Greece and Rome and the beginnings of a written history of birds, through the so-called Dark and Middle Ages and a fanatical obsession with falconry to the beginning of science and a reappraisal of classical knowledge, to the pharaohs and a community that for centuries has depended almost entirely on birds. And then to Darwin and the emergence of objective knowledge. We explore the Victorians' mania for specimens and the accumulation of bodies of ornithological knowledge as science gained traction. The 20th century brought us to the beginnings of birdwatching and the field study of birds, triggering an extraordinary flowering of knowledge and empathy for them. Today there is a massive worldwide interest in birds, from the casual "have you heard a cuckoo yet this spring?" through to the more scientific, in which novel discoveries such as those driven by new tracking technologies have allowed us to see the migratory journeys of cuckoos and other birds in real time. I've combined my passion for science, art and history to direct a spotlight on the multiple ways of engaging with birds. This historical, wide-ranging approach is the outcome of a lifetime of ornithological research and public engagement that has emerged from an enduring fascination about where our love of birds and nature as a whole has come from. By drawing attention to the fact that our present, largely empathetic relationship with birds may be temporary, I hope that we may be better able to protect birds into the future. Our story starts in southern Spain, in a little-known Neolithic rock shelter in Andalusia. Our early ancestors are not especially renowned for depicting birds in either carvings or cave paintings, as those are few and far between. But here in this one shallow cave, there are more bird images than all other known caves put together. It's a place that for me marks, like no other, the genesis of our relationship with birds. Chapter 1. Of peculiar interest, Neolithic birds. In 2005, Graham Gibson said, "How long have we been enchanted by birds? Forever, it seems." I've never seen anything quite like it. Cueva del Tajo de las Figuras is hardly a cave by archaeological standards, more a scoop in a vertical sandstone cliff. But inside it feels as though I'm within the enfolding walls of a womb, with barely enough space to stand upright. The cave spans just 4 meters from one side to the other and 2 meters from front to back. I sit awkwardly on a smooth, upwardly sloping floor polished by perhaps millions of visitors over millennia, the cave wall just centimeters from my face. It's light, the antithesis of the dark caverns I've been in elsewhere, and in the light I see flocks of birds. This modest, shallow rock shelter is the deep cradle of Western ornithology, the birthplace of bird study. The walls here are covered with an exuberant Neolithic frieze of over 200 birds. Beautifully depicted, mainly in red ochre but a few in white and yellow, the curved walls and roof are alive with flamingos, herons, raptors, avocets, and many other species, dating back some 8,000 years. This extraordinary abundance of birds in El Tajo was discovered, or rather announced to the world, in the early 1900s by a birdwatcher, Colonel William Willoughby Verner. The locals who told Verner of the cave assumed, as with anything else they didn't understand, that the images were the handiwork of the Moriscos, the Moors, who for 7 centuries had occupied this part of Spain. Multi-talented, Willoughby Verner was a soldier, military historian, natural historian, artist, and intrepid adventurer obsessed by birds. Photographs during his heyday in the 1880s show him with a luxuriant moustache, broad-brimmed hat, and an abundance of leather straps and belts and loops bearing his hunting paraphernalia, camera and field glasses. Born in Edinburgh in 1852, Verner was the grown-up version of the archetypal Boy Scout.